All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome this fine Tuesday evening. We started it a little bit early. We're going to do some driver interviews before we get started here. We got 13 minutes left in practice here at Martinsville. Now, we're obviously in the round of 6. We took a week off last week, which feels good. All these drivers are going to be well rested, myself included. So bear with me as we do some off-scene controls here. Let's start getting some people in and doing some interviews with these guys. Hey, Travis, it's Faded up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, Travis, how are you tonight, first and foremost?
I'm doing decent. Just got off work, getting the game started up, getting ready to go.
Good to hear. So, obviously, we're in the round of 6. You're one of the 6. Now, excuse me. So, everybody's going to start at 2,000 points. So, nobody has an advantage in the points as we start our round of 6 here at Martinsville. How you feeling in practice so far? What are you looking forward to the most here at Martinsville? And what do you need to do over these next couple of weeks to make sure that you're in the top 4?
As far as getting into the top 4, you only really think about consistency, finishing as high up as I can, getting the most points out of every race that I can. Trying to be where I need to be when anything bad happens. As far as tonight, just trying to hit the consistent lap, I guess. That's been my biggest issue here, as far as getting into the rhythm first and then hitting the lap time that I want to hit.
All right, Travis, sounds good, man. We're going to pull a couple more people in here. Good luck tonight, and I look forward to calling the race, bud.
Thank you, sir.
All righty, let's move on. That's Travis Rodriguez, by the way, really fast driver here with us. Let's call in Joshua Hetrick. Let's see if he's available for an interview here. Hey, Josh, it's Faded up in the broadcast booth. How are you?
Good, you?
Good. So we had a week off last week. I know a couple of you guys still ran the Thursday nights and the tour mods, but how does it feel to be back running the Cup cars tonight?
We're going to find out. I was on vacation, so this is the first time back behind the wheel in 2 weeks, so we'll see how things go.
Sure. So how you feeling about Martinsville? How's practice been? We kind of just joined in here, but and what are you looking forward to the most as we do our first small track here at All-American Racing League with the Cup cars? What are you excited about? And on the flip side, what do you think the toughest part of racing at Martinsville is going to be?
The toughest part is just going to be avoiding all that chaos. Luckily, we got a good group of guys. Keep it mostly clean, but it is Martinsville. Things are going to happen, so just trying to avoid the mess and survive. That's kind of what we've talked about before, just survive and advance. Again, short tracks aren't my thing, so probably going to be starting in the back and just kind of hanging out there and see where I come out at the end.
Sure. So how does somebody like Caden Tufts, who's in the mix tonight, obviously he's not a playoff driver, but we all know he's really fast out there, and I think right now he's got the fastest lap in practice. Is that somebody, and Louis back with us tonight too, by the way, as you can see. So 2 fast guys up there. I'm sure you guys are going to be trying to chase all night. Is it important to you guys to keep up with those 2, or is it more important to just run your own race and see where you're at the end?
I think it's more important to just run our own race. Caden and Louis are in a class of their own. They're going to be fighting up there. So I think at least my goal, and maybe some of the other guys, is just keep up with the playoff drivers, keep ourselves close going into Pocono next week, and then Chicagoland after that.
All right, Josh, sounds good, man. I appreciate your time, buddy. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All righty, that was Joshua Hetrick, ladies and gentlemen. Another very, very fast driver here at All-American Racing League. Nothing bad to say about these guys we're pulling in. I mean, these guys all race pretty clean. They're all really quick out there on the track. I think we have a new guy from what I see tonight. we'll probably get an interview with him. We're going to pull him in. Hey, Michael Wood, it's faded up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear.
All righty, let me turn your voice up on my end here real quick, just to make sure. There we go. All right, so you're new to All-American Racing League, correct? This is going to be your first week out with the guys?
Sure, thanks for having us. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. So obviously you're joining late, which is fine, but you're not going to be in any kind of playoff contentions or anything like that. So what is your mindset tonight? It's your first race. Martinsville's probably, if you could pick a worse track than Martinsville for your debut, I'd like to know what it is, because there's probably isn't one. But how do you feel about joining the league? Who reached out to you? And how do you feel about your car tonight at Martinsville?
Yeah, I'm excited to join you guys from just chatting around on Discord. They seem like a great bunch of guys. The goal of tonight is just to get out there, have some fun, keep my nose clean, and survive. Battle of attrition.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, and hopefully, do you plan on running the rest of the series with us here?
Absolutely.
All right, well, good, man. Well, get out there, have some fun, keep your nose clean, but don't be afraid to rub some elbows with these guys, and good luck tonight, Michael.
All right, thanks. You'll see you out there.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, our new driver, Michael Wood, he joins us here at All-American Racing League. He's going to debut for us here at Martinsville, driving the number 51 car. And he's looked like in practice he's going to be P12 right now. But, like he said, he's just trying to keep his nose clean. I think there's a lot of intimidation when you're joining a league and your first race is at a short track. The worst thing you can do is go out there and cause a mess. Even if he places last place tonight, if he's out there, he's on the lead lap, he doesn't cause any trouble, I think that'll be a win in his book and definitely a win in our book here at All-American Racing League. So congratulations to Michael for joining the league, and I hope to see good things from him moving forward. Let's pull in Chad Snyder. If I can reach him. Hey, Chad, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Faded, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good, man. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
Good.
How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. That week off did us all pretty good. We're back here in Martinsville in the Cup cars. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. I think the last Cup race we had, obviously things didn't go your way. We'll keep it at that. No need to, add any to the bruises. But, however, the good news is, and you already know this, you did still make it into the top 6. So you can kind of take that last Cup race and throw it in the trash. You did your job. You made it to the top 6. Everybody's going to be starting at 2,000 points. How do you feel tonight about Martinsville, and where's your confidence level at right now?
I feel pretty good. I mean, you don't have to say it for the last, not just the last race, but the last two. Kind of shot myself in the foot both times. So definitely looking forward to hopefully a clean race for myself tonight. But I feel pretty good. This is one of my favorite racetracks. We got a couple ringers in the field tonight, so it's going to be tough to try to get around them. But all in all, had a couple bad races, but had a week off, kind of reset, and just trying to focus forward.
All right, Chad, hey, appreciate your time. We got about 4 minutes left. I'm going to let you do some small tinkering, and good luck out there, Chad.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
That's it. All righty, that's going to be it for driver interviews, as we do have 4 minutes to go. I'm going to make sure that I got my own self buttoned up, ready to go. Make sure I got all the liveries I need and all the overlays. Make sure we're on point tonight, as this is the first round of 6. Let's go over the 6 drivers that have battled it out all season long. They made it through the round of 10. These are your 6 drivers left for the playoff contentions: Travis Rodriguez, David Lerfano, David Hara, Joshua Hetrick, Jonathan May, and the guy we just spoke to in the booth, Chad Snyder. He's looking to get a little bit better luck on his side. He's a good driver. He's a tough driver, and I know he's tough on himself when he makes the mistakes like he did last week. But as we said in the pre-race interview, he's made it to the top 6. He can forget about the last 2 races, and he can start focusing on tonight's race as he makes a run for the All-American Racing League Cup Series Championship. And it starts right here in Martinsville in 3 minutes. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. This is All-American Racing League. Got to hear from a couple of the drivers out there. Seems like everybody's in some really good spirits. Confidence is high. We've gone over the top 6 drivers who are still involved in the chase. But to help you out even more, up in the standings at the top of the screen, if you see a P next to their name, they are a playoff contention driver. And ignore the Brandon Robinson up there. Apparently, I joined this race as a racer, trying to psych these guys out. But no, I will not be racing tonight. Would not let me join as a spectator tonight. So I'm not too sure what happened with that. But either way, we had to make the race. We have a strict schedule that we are on. So I took the only option to get into the race, and that was to join as a driver. So please ignore the B. Robinson up there. Hopefully that doesn't throw off too many guys. I'm sure they got all psyched out thinking I was going to be out on the grid tonight, but no worries, guys. My 1.3 I rating in ovals is going to stay up here in the broadcast booth, so nothing to worry about there. As we take a look at qualifying times and practice times, it looks like Louis Clark, who is our road racing extraordinaire, who also sometimes does some oval racing for us here, sets the pace with a 19.3, followed by the ever so fast Caden Tufts, who runs a lot of tour mods for us. I do believe he is sponsored by Ryco Motorsports. He is .08 behind Louis Clark. Now, neither of those guys are playoff drivers, but they're definitely fun to watch. I know All-American Racing League accepts them with open arms. They're always welcome to race with these guys. So big shout out to those two for making it here at Martinsville. The 77 of Patrick McQuaid, about a quarter second off pace behind Louis Clark. David Lerfano, about a quarter second himself, 0.23, 0.24 respectively between those drivers. Jonathan May in that 00, 0.28. David Hara, Chad Snyder, Joshua Mayu, who I believe also might be a new driver for us tonight. And let's see here. Let's let the standings catch up. Joshua Hetrick and Tyrone Yo making it the top 10. Now, I'm really surprised to see Rodriguez in that 11th spot. He's usually really quick out there. Usually up front with a lot of fast times. As we see, one of the newer drivers is going to be rounding out the field. As we just kill some time here again, as we get ready to grid, we're going to have to go through that process to get from my POV to the camera controls here. My mistake, my apologies to you guys at home and to the drivers as well. But we'll get it all figured out here.
No.
No.
No, just make sure you retire, like exit the car. You'll just come up. You'll just come up on the stand, but that's it.
Well, that's because we're right now we're waiting.
Yeah, that's because
We're not
we're
quitted.
yeah.
Yeah, once
Yeah,
we
there are
get
no
the
cars
grid,
on the racetrack, is why.
yeah, once we
Like, you
grid,
should be ready now. You should be able to see him like now when we grid up. No,
you
just
only
don't
have
start the
two, I think.
race.
Yeah,
Don't grid. No, don't
Right.
even just don't grid. You got it.
No worries.
Says on.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, as we were working through some technical difficulties there, waiting for the cars to get on track. Here's a good look at the grid. Louis Clark does end up being our pole sitter for tonight's race. Nothing changed through there, so Caden Tuff's going to be sitting on the outside on grid number 1. Patrick McQuaid going to be on the inside in the number 3 car. David Lurfano, as you see, he has dropped the G Fuel 8. He's got his own sponsor now. Lucky Dog Detailing in that 88 car. In that Chevy Camaro ZL1. Congrats to him for picking up that sponsor. I believe that's going to carry him through the rest of the season and more. So good job, David, on picking that up. So we get a look from it right there, Lucky Dog. There it is. There's David Lurfano with the Lucky Dog Detailing. Hats off to him. The 77 car of Patrick McQuaid, still running the Muffler Man 77. David Hara in the blue-gray livery back there. Our pole sitter, Louis Clark, running the Project Dynamic livery tonight. He'll be in what almost looks like, I want to say, a little Tony Stewart throwback. As we're going to have one lap to green, we appreciate everybody coming in. I'm Faded GG. This is All-American Racing League. This is the round of 6. We're kicking it off at Martinsville. We're glad you could join us as the pace car brings us around. He's going to pull in. Louis Clark, Caden Tuffs, going to be taking us off for the very first lap. Should be an exciting one. Martinsville, always a good time. As they go around one more turn, pace car's going to turn off. These drivers get nice and bunched. Looks like there is a little bit of contact in the back, but that's not going to stop us. Pace car's off. Louis Clark, Caden Tuffs, probably the 2 fastest drivers in the league right now. They're going to be starting us off. We're going to be green flag racing. And it looks like Caden Tuff gets the jump on Louis into turn 1, but Louis taking advantage of that inside line. He's going to carry us down the backstretch. P1. Caden Tuffs, though, still on the outside. He's going to be tough to get rid of here. So it looks like they make just a tiny little bit of contact there. No big deal. Louis is going to shut it up top and secure the first place position as he's going to lead 2 laps here at Martinsville. Patrick McQuaid in the 77. He's going to secure up 3rd place. David Hara not too far behind him in 4th place. Jonathan May in the 00 sitting in 5th place. I hear some contact, and I do see a caution, multiple cautions out there. We got 3 laps in. We were wondering, when is the first caution going to take place? This is some short track racing. Everybody is going to be fighting for position here because we switched to the round of 6. Everybody starts at that 2,000 points, so nobody really has a point advantage as of right now. So there's going to be a lot of scrapping tonight. Everybody wants to get that points lead. So we start taking a look at the previous crash here. This is between David Lurfano and the number 5 car of Chad Snyder. He just gets into the back of him a little bit, but he gets spun around. He does have some front-end damage there, so that's unfortunate for David Lurfano. Jonathan May, the 25 car of Joshua Hetrick, getting involved. Multiple cars here getting involved. As the 00 car of May, he's going to lose his front end on that one. So we take another look at that. Joshua Hetrick on the inside. Oh, and it was May just getting a little bit loose, causing that. That's unlucky, as some of these other cars were just innocent victims of that. So a tough break for him. He's going to be heading into the pits. We catch back up with our race leader. So multi-car collision to start us off on lap number 4 here at Martinsville. It's going to be a wild night. We appreciate you guys tuning in. These guys will get into the pits. They'll get the repairs needed. David Hara was involved in that as well. I'm not too sure the extent of his damage. The front end looks pretty good as we get a good view of it right there. Yes, indeed. Looks like he's going to keep his front bumper on that. We take a look at Chad Snyder, who was also involved in that wreck. Maybe some front end damage to the right there. I can't really tell, but it does look like graphically there might be some damage there, as he's representing HendrickCars.com. Of course, all anybody can talk about in the Cup cars the last couple of weeks has been the Hendrick Motorsports, with Kyle Larson leading the charge. Nice paint scheme there by Chad Snyder, but he's not going to come in and pit for repairs, so he's probably very comfortable. That may be just some cosmetic damage, or at least that's what he's hoping. Let's see if some of these other cars in the back were involved, as we see the newcomer in that 51 car, Mellow Yellow. He's got some front end damage. That's going to be Michael Wood. Behind him in the 25 is Joshua Hetrick, a playoff contender, as he's missing his bumper. 1 lap to green. We're going to jump back up here with Louis Clark and Caden Tufts in that 88 on the outside. They had a pretty good drag race there for about a lap before Louis did get the advantage, shot it up high, closed the books on Caden Tufts, and that's where they ran up until that caution. So we'll see if Louis Clark can do it again and maintain that first place position. Pace car off. We're going to be going green. Green flag. Looks like Louis Clark does it a little bit earlier this time, as he does shut the door, but here comes Caden Tufts on the inside. He's going to be giving Louis trouble all night as he's looking to get his first lap led here. He's going to get the inside advantage again. Let's see if he can close the door on the 73 car. Oh, we got a caution. We got a wreck in the back, as Caden Tufts does secure that first place. He's going to be on the inside on the next restart. But let's take a look and see what happened towards the middle of the pack there as we take a look. Oh, it looks like the number 15 car of David Hara gets on the inside. Oh, he gets rear-ended by the 99, who then gets put into the 5 car. Oh, my goodness, what a huge crash. Unlucky, as some of those drivers involved were involved in the previous crash. Let's see, just the 99 car. I don't know if David was a little early to his braking zone, or if the 99 car of Kyle Martin was a little bit late to his. Nonetheless, there was contact that sent the number 15 car of David Hera into the back quarter panel of Chad Snyder. He got spun around. The rest you saw. Heavy contact between about 3 or 4 drivers there. Lap number 12 complete here at Martinsville. This is All-American Racing League. This is the round of 6. Thank you for joining us tonight. As we catch back up, Chad Snyder going to be back into the pits. His car's really bad. We talked to him pre-race. He had a couple of bad weeks there before the round of 6, but he squeaked his way into the round of 6. So he was able to throw that all in the trash and focus on tonight and in the future races. And so far in the early stages, things are not going his way. So tough break for Chad Snyder. He's going to use his one quick repair, and he's going to be back out on the track. So good for you, number 5, getting all that damage repaired. He's going to come out onto the track and be in some pretty good shape. So I'm sure David's not too happy, whether it was him who kind of got into his braking zone late or the 99 of Kyle Martin coming in a little bit late. Regardless of whose fault, he can't be too happy. He's been pushed around a couple of times tonight. Tough break for him as he is a playoff driver. Can't afford too many of those wrecks here at Martinsville, as everybody's looking for the edge as we head into Pocono next week, I believe, and then Chicagoland. Let's see if some of these guys can clean it up. It ain't easy racing these cars. A lot of horsepower. Relatively big cars here for Martinsville. As everybody knows, short track racing with the Cup cars. Always an exciting time for the fans and for the viewers. Maybe not so much for the drivers involved and things like that, especially early on. We have 200 laps here at Martinsville. To be into consecutive crashes like a couple of these drivers have been, it's going to be hard for them not to get frustrated for the next 15, 20 laps or so. But these guys got to remember, it's a long race. Everybody's got a quick repair. So just keep your head on you. Keep your cool. Got a long way to go here tonight. 1 lap to green. Pace car is going to bring him around one more time. The only thing that's changed up front is Caden Tufts did secure P1, as we talked about before going into that wreck replay. Pace car's off. Let's see his restart as Louis Clark's going to be starting on the outside, looking to get that P1 back. Here we go. Green flag racing here at Martinsville. Look at Joshua Hetrick giving Louis a little bit of a bump there. Louis definitely sleeping on that green flag restart. That's going to give Caden Tufts an easy early advantage. But Louis not too far behind. Looks like he's going to make amends with that mistake as he's right back on the bumper of the number 88 car. Patrick McQuaid, the 77, he's going to sneak up into that 7th place. Joshua Hetrick's going to fall back to 4th. The 00 car of Jonathan May rounding out the top 5 after the restart. Let's see if we can get a good green flag stretch here. I know that's what we want to see as race fans. We want to see as much green flag racing as possible. But, you know, the drivers want it more than we do. I think I hear some contact and some tires screeching behind us. We'll see if it causes a yellow. So far, so good. Not too sure what happened back there, but whoever it was involved, they obviously saved it. Hats off to them as we're going to come up on lap 20 of 200 at Martinsville. The 88 car getting a little loose there as he tries to do some trail braking here. Looks like his rear end got a little bit loose. Nothing to be concerned about. He's got a lot of experience, especially in the Tour mods and the Cup cars, so nothing to worry about in that 88. Number 73 car of Louis Clark, about a half second behind, coming out of that turn. He's butting it up to about 0.3 seconds into that. Let's see if he can get a run on the backstretch here. Patrick McQuaid in 3rd place, about 2 seconds off pace. Yep, that 88's definitely getting a little bit loose. We got our 3rd caution here. We're going to go under caution. Yellow light's going to come on, and that is probably a good thing for Caden Tufts. We'll see We're only 21 laps into the race. Looked like he was getting a little bit loose. Not too sure if these guys already need tires. I wouldn't think so. Maybe he's just pushing it a little bit too hard. But that's good news for Caden Tufts. He can kind of regroup mentally. He can kind of calm himself down and start hitting that racing line like he knows he can as we take a look at the replay. Looks like David Hara caught back into another situation here. That's the 99 car again, getting into the back of David Hara as those guys try to work out their braking zones. Unfortunately, the number 5 car of Chad Snyder, who's already used his quick repair for the night, involved in that as well with some front end damage. So that's not good for him. As we take another look here, let's see if we can get a better replay. Yeah, just the 99 car getting into the back of him. Chad Snyder getting into the back of the 99, and everybody else kind of late to the break there. So some unfortunate racing here towards the mid-pack to the rear. That number 15 car and 99 car, though, they got to sort this stuff out. That's probably the third time right now these guys have been involved in something one way or another. They're going to have to get into the radio comms and say, hey, man, what's going on? Let's figure it out. Let's make sure we clean this stuff up. Number 25 car of Joshua Hetrick and the 99 car of Jonathan May going to be making their way to pit road. We'll see if either of those two drivers do use their quick repairs. As you can see, no front end left on either of those cars. Those bumpers have already been picked up by the caution crew. They're going to be souvenirs somewhere for the fans. The virtual fans, that is. As we see Martinsville in all its glory here underneath the lights. The best time to be racing at Martinsville is the nighttime. We appreciate everybody coming in. If you're late to the broadcast, you're wondering what's going on. This is All-American Racing League. This is the round of 6 in the NASCAR Series playoffs. There's 6 drivers still in playoff contention. We were off last week. We had 10 drivers, and we had a cutoff. So there's 6 drivers this week that are still in contentions. If you see a P next to their name up in the standings, that stands for playoffs. We got Rodriguez, Hetrick, May, Lorfano, Hara, Chad Snyder, all involved in the round of 6 here. A lot of these guys that are out on the track. We do have a couple of newcomers here as well. We talked to one of them in the pre-race. We have Josh Mayu, who we didn't get a chance to talk to in the 61 car. We did get the chance to talk to Michael Wood in the 51 car. And I think we both agreed this is a tough place to make your debut race with the league. You definitely want to make sure you're clean. Hard-nosed racing, yes, but you want to keep it clean on your first night here. Could be a little bit intimidating. Everybody's trying to get a feel for each other out there. But we're going to concentrate back onto the front of the track on board with our leader, Caden Tufts. Pace cars off. We're going to be back to green flag racing. 175 laps to go here at Martinsville. Caden Tufts does get the drop on Louis. He's going to cut back onto the inside and tuck back in behind that 88 car. I think he's a very patient driver. I know Louis. I've talked to him a couple of times. He's a big endurance racer in the Road Series. He knows to use all 200 laps of this race. He's just going to tuck behind the leader, let Caden push it a little bit, and when he's ready to make his strike, he'll be there. Patrick McQuaid in the 77 is going to maintain that third spot, followed by Josh Mayu, one of our newer drivers in the 61 car. Let's take a look at how Josh is handling his first race here. As we see David Lorfano in the back, he's going to drop a couple of spots. Not too sure what happened there. We only caught the tail end there at the top of our screen. Looks like he got a little bit loose. Not too sure if he hit the wall or not, but either way, he's going to keep it on track. No yellows so far. Definitely some rear end damage for one of our new drivers there in the Iggy's 61 car. Kyle Martin, who's had a tough night, he's still in the pits. He's probably getting some repairs done, I'm sure. Nope, he's off pit road now as he did get some repairs done in that 99 car. He's back onto the track. Now, he doesn't have a bumper, so cosmetically, he still has some things missing, but I'm sure he took the time to get all the mechanical repairs necessary that he needs to try to get back on track here. Again, this is a long race. Lap down, 2 laps down, doesn't mean you quit. There's always the lucky dog. You fight your way back through here. As we do see in the standings, he is 3 laps down, but however, he's the only car lap down, so he can keep getting those lucky dogs every caution as we speak right here, and make his way back up onto the lead lap the later we get into this race. It looks like Chad Snyder caught up in this caution. We're going to take a look at the replay here, but definitely a lot of fight left still in that 99 car. Let's take a look at the previous wreck here. Let's see what's going on. David Hira into the inside of Chad Snyder. The 79 car of Rodriguez also involved in that. So David's kind of been involved in a couple of these wrecks. Chad Snyder's been involved in a couple of these wrecks. You got to start wondering, are they getting a little bit frustrated like we talked about? They were caught up in an early race, or an early wreck of this race. So we gotta think to ourselves, where's the frustration level? Are there going to be some mental mistakes being made by some of these drivers? Maybe they're pushing it a little bit too hard, and that's why we're seeing the cautions that we are. That number 15 car of David Hare is going to be pulling it into the pits. He's going to need some repairs. Pretty sure his front end was damaged a little bit. The lucky dog detailing of the number 8 car, David Lurfano, also going to be in the pits. The 79 car was involved in there. He's got some rear end damage on the right quarter and the right bumper there, but it looks like his front's clean. I think he's going to stay out. As all eyes back to the pits here, David Harris in the blue-gray 15. David Lurfano, lucky dog detailing. He's going to find his pit lane somewhere in there. David Hara going to take advantage and get some tires. Looks like David Lurfano may have used his quick repair there. I didn't see too much getting worked on as far as tires go, so I think he just came in, used his quick repair for the evening. Again, that's the number 8 car of David Lurfano in the lucky dog detailing. $165 laps to go. We've had 4 cautions coming up on 20 laps served under yellow. I think right now a lot of these drivers just kind of got to take a step back. Mentally, they got to regroup, take a deep breath. Let's focus on our entries, focus on our exits, and let's get some green flag racing here. Nothing changed up front. As you see, the iRacing.com pace car in the Mustang going to be leading Caden Tufts around on that inside. 88 Chevy Camaro ZL1. Louis Clark from across the pond in that 73 Home Depot style livery throwback. Going to be in the Toyota Camry starting on the outside. The 77 of Patrick McQuaid has maintained third place pretty much this whole race. And again, our new driver in the 61 car, Josh Mayu, in the thick of things here. He's going to be sitting on the outside of that grid too in the 61 car. 00 of Jonathan May in that white livery. And the 79 car of Rodriguez is going to be rounding out that third grid for us here. Caden Tufts maintaining the lead through turn 1. I think, again, Louis is just fine with letting him have that lead and sit back, and he's going to strike when he's ready. Caden Tufts definitely giving that thing all he's got. A couple of times that we have seen him on that corner exit, definitely getting loose. He's having to push it to stay ahead of that 73 car of Louis Clark. It's going to be interesting to see just how much he can push this car before he starts losing tires When you push a car like this, when you kind of have to, when you're in the lead and you want to stay in the lead, you're the guy that's pushing probably the hardest up there to maintain that. Louis can kind of just sit back. He's not in any kind of panic mode. He's only about a half second behind in the straights. Kyle Martin does get a lap back, so he's only 2 laps down now. That's important. I want to keep track of that 99 car, Kyle Martin. He is a playoff contending driver. We'll see where he's at towards the end of the race. Nope, excuse me. Kyle Martin is not a playoff driver, but he is a quick driver, and I expect him to be on the lead lap when this thing's all said and done. My apologies, though. He is not a playoff driver. Tyrone Yo back there in 12th place. I think that's at about 12 seconds off pace here, so if we can get some green flag racing here, 10 seconds is Tyrone Yo off pace. If we can get some green flag racing here, we'll see just how long it takes before some of these lead cars, like the 88 of Tufts, like the 73 of Clark, start getting into some lap traffic here. Then that'll really spice some things up. That's when racing craft and longevity skill comes into play here. A lot of people can be good for 10, 15 laps with nobody around them, but when you're in lap 50, lap 60, lap 75, and you're coming up on some lap traffic, let's see how long your skill runs and maintain these top positions. As you can see, Caden Tufts and Louis Clark starting to run away from the pack here with a huge gap between Louis and Patrick McQuaid, who's about 4 seconds off pace on the backstretch. Louis not going away cheap, though, as you can see into the corners, less than a quarter of a second behind the number 88 car. We got a caution here on lap 47. We'll take a look at that. We do hear some contact coming through the earbuds here. We'll take a look at that. And that's a tough break for Louis and for Caden Tufts, as they were starting to run up the clock here and almost had a 3-second lead on the third place car, Patrick McQuaid. You got to start wondering how frustrated these guys are getting. Yes, they have clean race cars. Yes, they're in the front. But you want as much green flag racing as you can. The last thing you want to do is start tightening some things up. Once pit lane opens this next lap around, we'll see if some of these lead drivers do come in and get some tires put onto their cars. And we'll see if some of these other cars are going to stay out and try to work for positions. Kyle Martin should get a lap back, so he's going to be a lap off as we do take a look at the replay. That 99 car just gets a little bit loose there. He's fortunately one car accident, if you call it that, maybe 2 there, as that mellow yellow tried to come onto the inside and avoid. He might have tagged his front end there, but tough night there for Kyle Martin. Usually don't see that out of a driver of his caliber, so you know, you got to think what's going on tonight. Maybe that break that we had from last week's really starting to play into some of these drivers here. So tough break for that 99 car. Five cautions here at Martinsville's put us under caution for 24 laps. We have 151 laps to go. I'm Faded GG. This is All-American Racing League. This is the round of 6 kicking off at Martinsville for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship. So we'll keep it on the leaders here as the iRacing Mustang paces them around for another lap or two.
Hello, Ben.
Try to keep my throat nice and hydrated this week. Last time we called a race here, I didn't have any beverages sitting next to me. Throat was getting pretty dry. My voice was cracking like I was going through puberty. Ain't making that mistake again, as we are live on Twitch. 1 lap to green for the pace car is off. Let's see who gets the jump. Louis slept on the last restart. He does not sleep on this one, but it does look like the advantage is in the 88 of Tufts, as we'll see Louis secure that second place behind him as we get out of that turn. 77 car of Patrick McQuaid still holding on to third place. Josh Mayu in fourth, and Travis Rodriguez rounding out our top 5. So our last caution, not too long ago, but it was a 1-car incident there. As you take a look, we got a pretty good scene on the backstretch there. It looks like a lot of these guys now have given each other the space that's needed for a longer green session. So everybody's trying to get comfortable here. A little bit of a rough start, but like I said, we're off for a whole week. Nerves have to be coming into play. There are some new drivers out there. And these guys are fighting for a championship, so they're racing a little bit aggressive with each other, and it's a short track, so but I feel like we're about to hit our stride. We're about to get into our groove here with these drivers. Oh, that number 51 car getting a little rough on his exit. He's going to hit the wall. That's going to be some front fender damage, I would assume there. Got to be careful with that, though. Always protecting the front end of your car. As it looks like Kyle Martin, who kept getting his lucky dog. It says he's out of the race. I'm not sure if he retired there on his own or if he just... I don't know what happened there. It was a long way to go. But he is officially out. That is the 99 car of Kyle Martin. He had a really rough start to this race. Never seemed to stop after that. He had a couple of bad breaks. You hate to see it, as the 99 car of Kyle Martin is always putting on a show for us. So tough break for him, unfortunate. We'll have to wait till next week to call his name again as we jump back up front with our leader, Caden Tufts, who has got himself a nice little buffer this time between himself and Louis Clark. Looks like on the backstretch he's pushing for 3/4 of a second almost there, and then dives into the corner. Obviously that's going to come down a little bit, but it's going to fluctuate through the turns. But he's sitting real comfortable. He gets a little bit loose there, though. That's going to lose a lot of time there, as he's really pushing these turns here. It's only a matter of time. That's either going to make or break his night. He's got to really button that down. Louis Clark taking his advantage and going on the inside. Definitely taking advantage of the 88 car. I told you a couple of laps ago, those tires only had so much life left. Louis was sitting back, waiting, buying his time. He knew how Caden was turning out, and a successful overtake from Louis Clark. He's going to be back into the lead for the second time tonight, as it looks like Caden Tufts definitely falling off pace a lot. This is going to open the door for the other drivers, Patrick McQuaid, to come up and possibly take that second place from Caden Tufts. So at this point has ran a really good race, but those tires are just, they're dying on him out there. This is the moment. This is the moment that 77, that 61, and that 00, they all got a strike right here on this 88 car. Because if we get another caution, these cars are going to pit. Caden's going to be right back up there fighting for the lead with Louis. As you see, 2-second lead for Louis Clark into the backstretch there. So with Kyle Martin out, all the other drivers are on the lead lap here. Still a long way to go, 134 laps. Still remaining. A lot can happen here. Patrick McQuaid seems to always find his way towards the front in these cup races. He joined the league a little bit late. That's why you don't see a P next to his name. Otherwise, if he had a full season, he probably would be in the playoff contentions. Always quick, though, in that muffler man, 77. Caden Tuff struggling to keep that car straight, even onto the back stretch. This is going to be interesting to watch, but some awesome driving by Caden Tuffs either way, just to be able to hold on to this car. I've driven these cup cars. Once they go, it's kind of tough to keep them straight. So hats off to Caden Tuffs. He's going to fall back. Patrick McQuaid taking full advantage of Tuffs' tires. He's going to secure P2. 61 car is going to move up. Chad Snyder's going to move up. Caden is definitely falling off pace. This has become a nightmare for him. David Harra going to be sneaking up onto the inside as well. So Caden Tuffs definitely falling back. He's praying for a caution. Louis Clark up front, enjoying about a 4-second lead here into the straights. Keeping it nice and smooth, no wiggle there as we take a look behind. He's got a full straightaway lead here on the number 2 car of Patrick McQuaid. One of our new drivers, Joshua Mayu, sneaking into that 3rd place. He's ran a good, clean race so far. Very consistent driver so far. Let's hop on this race for 2nd place between Patrick McQuaid and Joshua Mayu. And Chad Snyder, shout out to the 5 car. He had a rough start to this race. He took full advantage of his quick repair. And look at that number 5 car up there in 4th place, battling it out. Sticking around, hanging on. Good for you, Chad, as he does lead all playoff drivers right now. He needs a night. He needs a night. So good for Chad. Keep it up, number 5. David Lurfano holding on to our 6th spot, followed by the 00 car of Jonathan May. Travis Rodriguez in that 8th spot. Caden Tuffs has found his new home back in that 9th position. Again, praying for a caution to get some tires back on that car. Joshua Hetrick in our 10th position, Tyrone Yo and Michael Wood, 11th and 12th respectively, again with Kyle Martin officially out of the race. So we take a little bit of a break to catch our own breath up here into the broadcast. This is a long race. Don't want my voice going out. Nice little battle brewing up here between Chad Snyder and Joshua May for that third place. As Chad's peeking the inside, looks like he's going to secure that place from the 61 car. So Chad Snyder, as we talked about, props to him as he's going to move up into that third place. David Hara in the blue-gray 15 behind him, going to be trying to work his way up into that fourth. So 61 car falling off pace a little bit. You got to imagine maybe his tires are starting to go too as he does get onto that outside line. He's going to let some of these other cars go through. That's a good sign of, hey, I'm starting to lose my car a little bit. I ain't going to fight you too much. Long race to go. Number 8, car of David Lurfano in that Lucky Dog detailing Toyota Camry, going to be taking the spot from 61 as well. So a couple of these drivers definitely having some tire wear issues. They're needing a caution. 00 car of Jonathan May not too far behind. Let's see just how far back this 61 car is going to go. Let's get an inside look of Chad Snyder hunting down Patrick McQuaid. There's about a second difference between these two drivers. Let's see it from their perspective here. There we go. Good look of Chad Snyder chasing down that bumper of the 77 muffler man of Patrick McQuaid. Patrick's going to stay up high. He's going to leave the door open for Chad. Can Chad secure the second place? Looks like he's going to by the end of this next turn as he's going to take advantage of the inside line here at Martinsville. That's going to be Chad Snyder, who looked like he was going to have another rough night. It looked like he ran out of luck. And here he is, battling it back to second place at Martinsville as we are coming up on 90 laps complete. A lot of grit, a lot of toughness out of that number 5 car of Chad Snyder. David Harris sneaking his way into third, another playoff driver who also had a rough start to tonight. So hats off to these drivers as they are showing some true grit here, representing All-American Racing League. David Hara and Chad Snyder been racing side by side all season, pretty comfortable with each other as that 15 car. Now, a couple of these cars, like Chad and David, they have seen their way into the pits yet, as we do have a caution, lap 92. So a big break for some of these drivers, like Caden Tufts and Josh Mayhew, who all were falling off pace. But David Hara making his way into third place here. Shout out to a couple of these drivers, but they did have fresher tires, so. Oh, no. Our race leader, Louis Clark, potentially oh my, as he was coming up on lap traffic. That's Joshua Hetrick getting loose into the wall. That's our race leader, Louis Clark, in the 73 car, who had a mile lead on the rest of the field. Now he's got front end damage. Oh, that is a tough break for our leader, Louis. As we take another look at that. Oh, and he slammed on his brakes. He couldn't slow in time. Nobody could predict that. Oh. Tough break there. Let's see it from Louis' perspective. Coming out of that turn there, everything looks fine. The 25 looks good. Gets loose, couldn't hold on. No time for the 73 car. Tough break there, Louis. Looks like that's going to open the door for a new... Well, it was a new race leader for a moment. Pits are open. David Lurfano is going to be coming in. A lot of these drivers, I assume, will. A couple of these guys need new tires, like the 88 car of Caden Tufts. Looks like he's going to make his way back up into the front here, but not too sure if he got his pit stop done or not. But if he did, he's going to be a dangerous player here. If he's got all 4 new tires like I suspect, he's going to be right back up in there battling it with Louis for first for quite some time now. So a tough break for some, a bit of luck for others, as the 88 car is going to be able to find himself back up there. The number 5 car of Chad Snyder. Number 15 car, David Hara. Good to see those guys up front. Again, it was a rough start here at Martinsville. You weren't too sure of the mindset of them. I think, excuse me, I think there was some frustration playing off there for a couple of laps, but we had some nice green flag racing. Everybody was able to calm down, get into their groove, find their racing line. So, I wasn't too sure there what was going to go on. I wasn't sure if the 88 had maybe stayed out and got out of the pits quick enough, but it doesn't look that way. He's going around. He's going to start at the end of the field here as Louis Clark and Chad Snyder in that 5. HendricksCards.com is going to be taking us through this restart. Number 61 car of Josh Mayu and the 00 of Jonathan May, 3rd and 4th respectively. Louis Clark with a nice comfortable restart. Chad Snyder going to fall back in line in 2nd place. Joshua Mayu going to hold on to 3rd, and the 77 car of Patrick McQuaid going to maintain 4th place. So both Joshua Hetrick and Caden Tufts have found themselves a lap down. So that's going to be a race within itself to see who's going to get this lucky dog. That's a very important spot to be in if you're Joshua Hetrick. He is a playoff driver. He needs to maintain a lead over Caden Tufts to secure that lucky dog and get back onto the lead lap, because you know we're going to have another caution here at Martinsville. Looks like the 0-2 car of Tyrone Yo, I believe, is going to make his way down for an unscheduled pit stop. Not too sure what happened with him. So that's going to put him a lap or 2 down. Not too sure if he's going to have to take care of some damage there. We'll see where he's at the end of this. Is Michael Wood in the 51. He's 3 laps down. But he's out there. He's fighting. He's scrapping. So it looks like Tyrone Yo going to go 2 laps down now. He's off. He's making his way off pit road now. So worst case scenario, possibly 3 laps down, as that 73 car is making his way around the turn here. Let's see if he can get in front of that 0-2, put him 3 laps down. The 0-2 car of Tyrone Yo doing the throwback skull livery there. He's going to do his best to stay out of some of these lead cars' way. Chad Snyder maintaining a lead over Josh Mayu for that 2nd place, but it's a close one as we take a step away from our race leader. We're going to focus on this battle for second place. Few laps past the halfway mark, 92 laps to go here at Martinsville. As we get a good look at the group there, everybody's single file. Oh, looks like the 79 car get a little bit high off that turn. He's going to eat the wall a little bit. Maintain control of the car, no cautions. Patrick McQuaid sitting in that fourth spot, eyeing that third spot, trying to work his magic onto the 61 car of Joshua May. David Lorfano following. Caden Tufts making his way through that pack there. He is a lap down, so he did take that spot from one of our playoff drivers, Joshua Hetrick. So that's not good news for that 25 car. Louis Clark in the 73 Toyota Camry out to a 6.5, 7-second lead on the backstretch. He is just flying away with this. Almost up to an 8-second lead in the backstretch there. That's going to fluctuate a little bit relatively quickly here on a short track. The 51 car of Michael Wood, 4 laps down. Gentlemanly moves up the track to let these lead cars through. Looks like we do have a caution flag out. Yep. Race control calling a yellow here. Let's take a look. See who's involved. So that's not what we're looking for. Oh, there it is. The 77 car is just getting a little bit loose there. And unfortunately, enough to drop off pace and bring out the yellow. So that's Patrick McQuaid and I believe the 00 car involved there. Oh, it looks like the 00 car just getting into the rear panel of the 77. Maybe a little bit too late on his braking zone there. So that's unfortunate for him. Not unfortunate for Caden Tufts. He's going to get back on the lead lap as he's trying to make his way back through the field. he did lead a big chunk of this race before his tires gave out. Hasn't been able to make his way back up through there like I thought he might. Nonetheless, though, another tough break for Louis Clark, as his lead was almost up to 8 seconds. There's Patrick McQuaid. He's going to be taking it to the pits there. Some good luck for once for Chad Snyder, as he's going to be able to grid back up next to Louis Clark on the outside. David Lurfano, Jonathan May. We're going to bunch these guys back up here. 82 laps to go. Let's make sure we're caught up into the action here. Pace car still on the track. As we take a quick break up here into the broadcast booth, we're all caught up onto the action. We're going to stay on board here with the race leader, Louis Clark. His pace car is going to bring him around. Short break, but we're back now as Louis Clark definitely still maintains his lead up there. As you can see, already almost up to 2 seconds into the backstretch on Chad Snyder. David Lurfano in third place. In that number 8 Lucky Dog detail. In fourth place, David Hara. Jonathan May rounding out the top 5. Our newcomer, Joshua Mayu, who was up at third at one point, kind of fell off the pace before that caution, but he's maintained. I think it said he was in 6th place here, so he might be looking at a late run to try to get some of those positions secured. He's looking for a strong night. Michael Wood finds his way back into the pits. Another new driver with us here at All-American Racing League. Nothing to be ashamed about for his first night out. Said he wanted to keep his nose clean and finish the race, and so far I think he's done that pretty good. Haven't really called him out on any cautions, so whatever he's dealing with right now, he's just dealing with it on his own. He's not really involving anybody else, and not too much you can ask for a new driver here at Martinsville. As we are under another caution here, Louis is going to be rewinding it back. And we're going to line these guys back up. This is going to be our 8th caution. Bring us up to about 40 laps of yellow, which may sound like a lot, but this is Martinsville. This is a fast group of guys, very competitive. As we take a look here, multiple cars involved. The 79 of Rodriguez, the 77 of Patrick McQuaid, and the 88 car of Caden Tufts, whose night looked so promising. Those two cars were almost in sequence there as they just got a little bit loose. Let's take another look as they come off here. It doesn't happen right away off the turn. Well, for the 79 car it does. And then unfortunately, I think the 77 got loose. The 79 starting to spin probably startled Patrick McQuaid. He reacted. Not too much he could do. His car got loose. Caden Tufts definitely in a tough spot. Had nowhere to go. Runs into the back of the 77 car. So we'll get these guys lined back up. 70 laps to go. Patrick McQuaid going to be into the pits. He's got some front end damage there. Looks like he's actually going to stop there, letting these other cars go. We'll see if he goes pit road or if he'll head back out with those guys. I think race control was telling him to get towards the back. So that's what he did. Been a fun night of racing, lots of action, lots of good racing. More than a few cautions here, tough track. David Lurfano and David Hara find themselves cracking the top 3 and 4 position respectively between those drivers. David Hara had to battle his way back. He got involved into some carnage a little bit early on into the race. Wasn't too sure how his night would be, but here he is fighting in 4th place next to the number 8 car of David Lurfano. Both of those guys trying to battle it out for some playoff points as well in this round of 6. Pace car off. Louis going to get us going green. Out of turn 4. Back to green flag. Chad Snyder going to give him a run for his money on the outside. Let's see if Chad can make a move. He's got to fight the number 8 car of David Lurfano, who was taking a peek on the inside there, but Chad's going to cut that off and secure 2nd place. So a good restart for Louis Clark and a good restart for Chad Snyder. So we come up on 65 laps to go. Caden Tufts does find his way back onto the lead lap in 7th place. We'll see if he can make his way back up and break the top 5. Anything can happen after that. A caution here, a caution there. Caden Tufts might find his way back up towards the front real quick. He did have a super fast car in the beginning. We'll see how his night plays out. Right now, though, all eyes on Louis Clark. Always a fast driver here for All-American Racing League. Spends most of his time on the road course doing endurance races, doing 24 hours. So he's used to these long races, and he's proven it here at Martinsville. As we follow some of this other action going on, we'll hop on with Chad Snyder, trying to maintain this second place, trying to hold off David Lurfano. Had a little bit of a quiet night at first, but here he finds himself in that third spot. Both of these guys, playoff drivers, battling it out for points. David Lurfano in that 15, not too far behind, but we do see Caden Tufts making his way back up to the field. From 7th to 5th, just like that. Looked like he got into the back of David there a little bit. I was expecting a caution to fly. I think David might have been able to hold on to that car, showing his racecraft there a little bit, but definitely battling it out for that 4th spot is David Hara and Caden Tufts. Unfortunately, though, that scuffle, it may not have drawn out a caution, but it definitely made David lose a little bit of pace there. You definitely don't want to see that. The number 61 car of Joshua Mayu slips past the 88 of Caden Tufts. He falls in line now behind David Hara as they try to make their way back up to at least to the pace and the bumper of David Lurfano sitting up there in that lucky dog detailing. Oh, David Lurfano, the little bit of a rough exit there. Yep, he's going to lose pace. Not too sure what happened there. He might be having problems with his car. That's going to be our third place driver falling way back off pace, back in 7th and 8th position. So David Hara going to be taking that number 3 spot. As we've said, Caden Tufts trying to make his way back up towards the front. Had a fast car for about the first quarter to half. He kind of ran into some trouble, had some tire wear. As you can see, no front end on him. He got into a couple of unfortunate accidents, but that is the number 88 car barreling down on the number 15 of David Hara, trying to secure that 3rd place. Is it going to be enough, though, to catch that number 5 car of Chad Snyder, who seems to be in the zone in that 2nd spot? This is what you like to see if you're both Louie and Chad. You want some of these guys behind you racing hard, losing pace a little bit, but I don't think Caden's losing any pace. If anything, he's definitely gaining it for himself and for some others here as he's storming his way back up. Does lock down that 3rd place from David Hara. Now he's on the hunt for that bumper of the number 5 car, Chad Snyder. He's making his way up there pretty quick, about a half second separating those 2 cars. This should get pretty interesting here in about the next lap or 2. Here comes the number 88 car right onto the back bumper of Chad. Chad looks like he lifts off a little bit. Looks like he's going to give a little bit of a bump to Caden. Not too sure if that was intentional or not. Chad letting him know, hey, I see you. But the number 88 car of Caden, if you pay attention, looks like he's getting a little loose like he did in the beginning of the race. He's pushing that car so hard as he goes on to the inside. Definitely don't want to do it on this turn because there's the grass there. You can get away with it a little bit. On this next corner that he's coming into, you can kind of find yourself a little bit of grip where there's asphalt, but you definitely want to stay away from there as much as possible. Very easy to spin your car out there. So we'll see how long he can maintain this pace. We'll check back on him in a couple of laps, see how he's doing. We're going to fall back to number 5 car of Chad Snyder's. Him and David Hara are now battling it out for 3rd place. This is an important position because the number 5 car of Chad Snyder and David Hara, both playoff drivers here. So whoever walks away here with this position is going to walk away with the points lead heading into Pocono next week. David coming in super hard on that turn. Chad a little bit better on exit, though. Oh, as we hear some contact and we see the yellow. With 45 laps to go. That is a tough break for Louis Clark as Caden Tufts makes his way back up to P2. They're going to be starting side by side. Oh, this is going to be a race with 44 laps to go. We find ourselves under our 9th caution here at Martinsville. Let's take a look at the replay. 77 car Patrick McQuaid getting a little bit loose. Doesn't look like anybody else was involved though, so that's good. Take another look here. Woo, good eyes by David Lefano there as he checks up high and gets around that muffler man 77. As I aspirate and kill myself up into the broadcast booth up here. Excuse me, my apologies back home. So this definitely adds some intrigue to the rest of this race. If there was anybody that was going to give Louis a run for his money, it's definitely the 88 car of Caden Tufts. Couple of cars electing to hit pit road. Some of these guys that are lap down or more coming in, probably going to get some fresh tires just to ensure they got a nice clean finish to this race. We're going to have less than 40 to go. So we might see some of these back markers coming in, pit, get some fuel if they need it, definitely get some tires. One lap to green. Looks like it's going to be Caden Tufts, at least the standings right now. Caden Tufts, number 1. Chad Snyder in 2nd place. David Hara, 3rd. Joshua Mayu in 4th. I think Louis opted to pit, so he's going to have some fresh tires. I think he might be anticipating a long run here to finish out this race. Pace car off, Caden Tufts with a nice jump. As Chad had nothing for him going into turn 1 there, Caden Tufts is going to come out to a good lead here, probably up to 2 seconds on the next straightaway. Joshua Mayu does take 3rd from David Hara. He's going to be sitting in 4th place. Travis Rodriguez in the 79 going to be in 5th. We'll see if Louis Clark can battle his way back up towards the front the same way that Caden did. Here he comes. Looks like he is going to get back behind David Hara, at least up in 4th place before this next lap is over with. You see him on the outside there. There we go. There's Louis Clark does take the spot from the number 79 car of Travis Rodriguez. So this is the 73 of Louis Clark making his way back up the field. He's on fresh tires. He's on the bumper of number 15, David Hara. He's trying to make his way back up before Caden can get too big of a lead. David holding on to that inside line as he should. Don't be giving him nothing cheap. Louis trying to make that high side work. Let's see if he can make it work. As they dive into turn 1 here, it looks like David is going to maintain first, or the position, excuse me, not first. Now Louis is going to get him on the backstretch going into turn 3. Now he's on the bumper looking at that second place of Chad Snyder. He's trying to make his way up to Caden as fast as he possibly can. So a good move by the 73 car. Went in, had to repair some damage, got some tires, and it's paid dividends as he was able to make his way from the back of the field up back to second place within a matter of laps. 33 laps to go here at Martinsville. This is the round of 6. This is All-American Racing League. I'm really concerned about this 88 car. Are we going to get deja vu here? The longer this goes, the way Caden pushes his car, his tires seem to give out a little bit quicker than some of these other drivers. And as we see his lead start to decline, Louis Clark can smell the blood. So we'll have to keep an eye out on this 88 car to see if he can switch it up a little bit. Maybe he goes a little bit easier, tries to keep those tires as fresh as he possibly can in order to keep his car straight. Let's hop on board here for a couple of laps with Louis Clark as he is chasing down our race leader, Caden Tufts. 30 laps to go. As we got a caution, we're going to stay on the gyro cam as Louis is just going to run right into the 77 of Patrick McQuaid. Oh man, tough break for Louis. Hopefully the damage isn't too much for him as he was making his run for the 88 of Caden Tufts. We're going to fall under caution at least one more time. This is our 10th caution. Let's go back and see exactly what happened here. 77 car, I think, just gets a little bit loose here on his own. I want to see what this is, and then we'll go back to that. So that's just the 51 car hitting the wall on his own. This is what we want right here. Yep, 77 just gets a little bit loose. Heads up by Tyrone to get out of that. But then he didn't know really where to go. Oh, man, just stay where you're at, 77, please. There's no need to try to hit the gas and get out of there. There'll be plenty of time. Let the other cars go. Maybe a little bit of frustration boiling out of that 77 car. So, we'll see how that plays into Louis' hands. If the front end damage is a little bit too much, if he's going to fall off pace, 77 car is going to go into pit. He's probably going to get some fresh tires. 25 laps to go here. Some of these cars that are in the middle of the pack towards the end, probably be a good idea to go in, just get some fresh tires. If I'm Caden Tufts, I might go and get some fresh tires with how hard he runs this car 25 laps on fresh tires for Caden Tufts. I think he makes his way back through the field, and I think he wins this race. I really do. But we'll see if he's confident enough to stay out, if he thinks he's got 25 more laps of pushing that car as hard as he possibly can. So we're going to finish this caution how we started the race with Louis Clark and Caden Tufts up towards the front of the grid. Chad Snyder's going to be in third. David Hara in fourth. That's a race for points here. So big race on the line here between those two cars, the number 5 and the 15. Something to keep our eye on here as we come closer and closer to 20 laps to go. You got David Lorfano not too far behind him. Our new driver in the 61, Josh Mayu, who's had a pretty good night so far for him. Kept it pretty clean for the most part. Ran up high a little bit there for a while, back in third place. So a good showing for him in his first night here. As we bunch these guys back up. Pace car off, Caden Tufts and Louis Clark. Caden Tufts on the restart, gonna secure the bag and stay in first place. Louis Clark, though, gonna hold his line. He's gonna be right on the back bumper of 88. Chad Snyder and David Lorfano now battling it out for third place, as David Hara falls back a couple of spots, falls back in line behind the 79 car of Travis Rodriguez. So a tough restart for David. Good restart for Chad. He's going to maintain that third place. We'll see if David Lorfano in that number 8 car can give him a run for his money as we do come up on 20 laps to go. Louis Clark, Caden Tufts battling it out for first place. This is for bragging rights. Neither of these gentlemen are a playoff contender, but always a good time. Always welcome to run here as they put on a show for us. Caden Tufts doing a pretty good job of holding off the rocket Louis Clark in that 73 car. The pressure's on. Chad Snyder still holding off that number 4, fourth position of David Lorfano. Chad Snyder looking to wash away the last couple of weeks of bad luck. Louis Clark on the inside of the 88 of Caden Tufts, almost rubbing. Oh, Louis Clark gets a little bit loose into the wall. That's going to let Caden Tufts take the lead. As Louis just pushes it a little too hard. He's going to have some front end damage, definitely some side damage. Hopefully everything's okay with his steering. Nonetheless, though, a mistake by Louis Clark as he was pushing it just a little bit too hard. And unfortunately for Caden, unscathed by that mistake. So for the moment, with 15 laps to go, Caden Tufts in a comfortable position to win this race. We're going to drop back for this third place position here. These are two playoff contention drivers, Chad Snyder in the 5, David Lorfano in the black and white with the 8 on top. And David Hara does find his way back up into that fifth position. We'll see if he can work his way into this race for second place, as Chad Snyder has to run that a little bit high off his racing line. He's going to dive back into the middle of the racing line here. David does the same. Chad looking pretty comfortable here. David does kind of dive into that corner a little bit hard. Chad's going to be a little bit quicker on the exit because of that. So he's going to maintain his lead down the backstretch into the next turn. David staying right on his bumper, though. He wants to see as much of the HendrickCars.com logo as he can. Coming up on 10 laps to go. Louis has made his way back up a little bit on Caden, but if Caden can keep his racing line, it's his to lose. It looks like, I think Louis does have a little bit of damage there that's kind of causing him some issues. He's not able to keep pace with Caden like he was. He's falling back a little bit. Chad Snyder might be able to take advantage of this. He's got 10 laps to get that second place from Louis. Try to separate himself a little bit even more from David Lurfano and David Hera as far as points go. Heading out of Martinsville tonight. 9 laps to go. Last thing Caden wants or needs is a caution to put Louis right back up there. He's hoping for a green flag finish. As we jump back up to our leader, the number 88 car of Caden Tufts. Let's see how he's coming off these exits. He's got his lead up to over 3 seconds in the straights. All right, he's not as loose as he was when he lost it the first time. I think he's going to be able to maintain this pace. He's got to focus a little bit on these exits, make sure he's hitting them exactly how he needs to, and clutch up and win this race. Ladies and gentlemen, this 88 car was a couple of laps down, I believe, at one point in time. He's battled his way through the pack all night. We're going to get at least one more caution here with 6 laps to go. So that is terrible news if you're the 88 car of Caden Tufts. Louis Clark with a big old smile on his face. He's going to be able to give it one more shot. As we look at this replay, we just hope it wasn't 3, 4, and 5. As those guys were looking for some clean finishes. Let's take back. Looks like the 77 again. Just getting a little bit loose out there. That's a good driver, too. He might just be rattled a little bit. He was looking really good towards the beginning of this race. Had some bad luck, and ever since then, he's been the guy spinning out of turns. So don't let him fool you, though. Travis Rodriguez, damn good driver. He might just be boggled here a little bit as he hasn't quite figured out his exits in the last portion of this race. So a tough break for him. I know the guy's got skill. Louis into the pits. Looks like he's going to get some damage taken care of. He's going to get some new tires, at least on the rights. There goes the left. So that 73 car is getting tires. We're going to be a green, white, checkered, I assume. This was a huge move by Louis Clark here. We're going to have to see if it pays off. Either way, that's going to bump Chad Snyder up into the second place. David Lurfano is going to be in third. David Hera back in that fourth place position. So a huge gamble by Louis Clark here. The 88 and everybody else stays off pit road as we have 3 laps to go here to finish off our cap at Martinsville. That's either going to be move of the night or the regret of the night for Louis Clark, as he's going to fall back all the way to 7th place with only 3 laps to go. A lot of butterflies for these drivers, as 200 laps here at Martinsville has all come down to this last restart. Caden Tufts, Chad Snyder, David Lurfano in the top 3. They've been battling out all night. You can see the scars on that 88 car. David Hare in the 15 going to be starting 4th. The 00 of Jonathan May. Will he have anything to push on the table on these last couple of laps? Joshua Hetrick, who was our points leader coming into the round of 6. Is he going to have anything left in the tank to try to make a move, try to get that last position or two, as all these drivers that are in the top 6 have now started with 2,000 points apiece? It's anybody's race here for the championship. Pace car off. Caden Tuff, it's your show. No sleeping on the green here, Chad, but he does just a little bit. Not too much, though. He saved it. I thought he was falling asleep back there. It looked like David Hara behind him even had a little bit of a jump, but he had to slow down or else he was going to eat the back bumper of that 5 car. Louis Clark all the way back up to 4th already. 1 to go, though. Chad Snyder holding it down, 2nd place. David Lurfano in 3rd. Louis Clark 4th. David Hara 5th. It's all coming down to this. It looks like it's going to be the 88 car of Caden Tufts taking Martinsville here. 200 laps down. No more laps to go. Chad Snyder with a 2nd place finish, washing away all that bad luck of the last 2 weeks. He's going to be our first playoff contention driver to cross the finish line. As we sit right now, the unofficial results: David Lafano 3rd, David Hara 4th, Travis Rodriguez in that 5th spot. As Caden Tufts battles his way back from being a lap down to winning the race here at Martinsville. He's going to be doing some celebratory donuts, as he should. Incredible race by Caden Tufts and all our drivers here at Martinsville. What a show. Caden Tufts, you got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, my God. Hey, at one point in this race, you were at least 1 lap down, if not multiple, correct?
Yeah, I was 2 laps down. We pitted under green because my tires were absolute murdered there when I fell back to the back there.
Yeah, I saw that. I got a little bit worried for you, too. I kept checking in on you as you made your way back through. The resiliency that you showed, the racing craft, the patience. I mean, what a hell of a race by Caden Tufts. How do you feel about winning this 200-lap race here at Martinsville?
I mean, I came into this race with, not a lot of practice. I wasn't really prepared for it. I was planning on running some short track stuff, and then I noticed we were at a short track, so I decided to hop in. Ended up doing really good in practice, so I was like, you know what, let's race it. And obviously, it worked out for us.
Well, I'm impressed. I know everybody at home is impressed. The entire field is probably impressed. Hell of a race, Caden. Good job. Congratulations. Enjoy this win, my man.
Thank you.
Chad Snyder in the number 5 car. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good after that one, man. Hope we put on a good show for you guys.
Hey, you guys put on an excellent show. You know, I said it in the broadcast booth a couple of times. You were trying to wash away some of the bad luck you had the last couple of weeks, and there you were at the beginning of the race. You had no front end on your car. Things weren't looking that great. You got caught up in some unfortunate accidents. I thought to myself, man, I feel so bad for this guy. And then here you go. The next time I looked at the standings, 2nd place, and you held it all the way through to the end. How do you feel, man?
Man, I feel great. The race like tonight is exactly what I needed to bounce back from the last couple weeks. I felt really, really confident going in here. I wasn't ever the fastest in single lap speed, but I was able to put a good pace down. And man, spent the last quarter of that race with either Hillbilly Harrow or David Lafano on my bumper, man. And those two are extremely, extremely tough to hold off, especially here. But both those guys, they're great racers. They race me clean. and just really glad to come away with. I'm going to go ahead and call it a best in class today because Caden and Louis were in a league of their own, and Louis had some trouble there at the end. Unfortunately, I hate to see that, but yeah, man, just absolutely pumped to come away with a P2. I really needed that.
Yeah, nonetheless, you are the first playoff driver to cross. You're going to go with the point lead heading into next week. Congratulations, Chad. I'm glad you were able to bounce back from a couple of bad weeks, and we look forward to next week's race, man. You keep running those practice laps and getting it going, buddy.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, guys.
See ya. Hey, David Lerfano in the number 8. How you doing, bud?
Not bad. Not bad.
Hey, so you almost had a quiet night until the end, and there you are battling through the field. You find yourself in 3rd place after Louis goes into the pits. You're trying to chase down Chad Snyder. You couldn't quite catch him, but how does the 3rd place feel? And not only that, but you're the 2nd place, playoff driver too. So that's got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, my whole strategy for this race anyways was just kind of bide my time. I knew I could probably run some decent laps and keep pace. I just had to make it through the wrecks, and we had a couple there early, and so just pacing, and it worked out at the end. I know on the last restart, starting on the inside, I was hoping to get a jump on Chad, but I spun the tires on the start and had no choice but to let him go.
Yeah,
So,
you and David Hera were battling all night, and you guys find yourselves 3rd and 4th at the end of the race. Congratulations on a really strong run, David, and we look forward to seeing you next week, man.
yeah, not a problem. Thank you for broadcasting.
Yes, sir. Louie!
Yeah, man.
The decision to take tires, did you have to go in for some repairs, though, as well?
Yeah. To go in for repairs, I tried to get down the inside of Caden and got a bit loose. So, not the way that I wanted it to end.
Now, a little
No,
tough
we did
there. Yeah, you and Caden definitely showcasing the night. Too fast. I mean, you guys had rockets out there. A hell of a run by Caden. At one point, he was 2 laps down. He comes back to win the race. But when he was towards the back, you were on a class of your own. I know you kind of ran into some lap traffic, some unfortunate accidents there. So probably not how you wanted to finish the night, but nonetheless, you had a lot of TV time tonight. You were up front quite a bit. So I just wanted to ask if that was, you having to fix damage or if you were trying to get, some tires to see if you could give Caden a run for his money, because Caden, on those long stretches, he was starting to lose it a little bit.
Oh, man, no, I wouldn't. If I didn't have that damage coming in that last corner where I got that hit, I don't know if you saw it coming out of turn 4, me and Caden side by side. I just got on the gas pedal a bit too early. Back in, come out, tried to correct it, ended up in the wall, and I was losing like 3/10 laps. I was like, oh, we'll gamble it. We're not running for a playoff. We'll gamble, see how it goes, and yeah, man, it didn't happen. But we had a good night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, there's some drivers here that need to learn how to drive, man. 99's driving like Morgan Shepherd in real life, mate. He's an idiot. It's all that needs to be said, man.
All righty, some strong words from Louis Clark. We'll let you go and blow off some steam. Good run, though, tonight, and it was fun to watch you race, Louis.
Cheers, man. Have a good one.
Yep, see ya. Next, we're going to pull in our 4th place finisher, David Hera, in the 15. How you doing, David?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Hey, man, so a lot of you guys, like Chad and Lerfano and yourself, I think really needed this to kind of cement yourself, because you guys are always running good week in and week out. And for whatever reason, it's Travis Rodriguez or Hetrick's up front or whatever. So for you 3 guys to finish 2, 3, and 4, which really is 1, 2, 3 in the point standings, if you think about it, how do you feel about your performance tonight? I was glad to see you finish in that top 5, because in the beginning of the race, yourself and Chad kind of had a bumpy ride there.
So for the blue gray plastic fab Chevrolet was good. We started off really good, and I don't know what the 99 was doing. Kyle Martin was not paying attention tonight. He ran over me twice tonight. So when it was me and Chad, I was actually slowed up behind Chad, making it through the corner I just looked at that replay, and the 99 blasted me and ran me into the 5. And he just was just a little out of control tonight. But yeah, I'm happy with our finish. I'm glad we got back up there. I really wanted to finish in front of that 8 tonight, but just couldn't make it happen. At one point in the race, iRacing gave me a black flag. The race control did, and we weren't sure what it was for. It was saying that I was speeding on pit road, and it wasn't even on pit road. So we had to clear that guy, and I ended up dropping from, I think it was the 3rd position back to the back of the field.
Yep.
And that was a pain just working back up through there. But yeah, the 2 incidents with the 99, both times him running over me, used up both of my quick repairs tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's seems to be the story of the night. There's a couple of guys taking shots at him, so hopefully he'll get his mentals right and be back out with a better showing on there. But either way, there was a few of you guys, yourself, Caden, even the race winner too, right? I mean, he was 2 laps down at one time, but there were some guys out there that really were showing some racecraft up front. Chad Snyder, David Lerfano, you guys ran a hell of a race. And even the new guy in the 61, Josh Mayu, I wish he was still here. I'd pull him in for an interview. He was running pretty good there too. So I'd say overall, it was a really great showing by you guys. You really showed some patience and some racecraft, and it was a fun race to call, my man.
We had a lot of fun, and real quick, I'd like to give a shout-out to All American Racing League, Hillbilly Motorsports, and the Blue Gray Plastic Fab Chevrolet, and we'll go try to get them next week. I think we're going to Pocono, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Gonna try to get it lined out there, man, get this thing fast, and hopefully try to go after a win there.
All right, David. Hey, I appreciate your time, man. You have a good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for All American Racing League at fadedgg.twitch.tv. 200 laps at Martinsville is down. We saw a lot of hard racing, some fast racing. We saw some crashes. Hell of a night tonight. So exciting to call. We appreciate you guys being here. This is All American Racing League. I'm Faded GG, and we're out.